let's talk about happy things. So, what's your favorite Christmas memory?
Oh, that's a good one. Easy. So on Christmas, my dad used to like travel a lot for work, and I think he went to like South Africa. And he bought these like Christmas Carol CDs. But it's like Jingle Bells, but in like, the South African choir. It's like, so it's called like an African Christmas. So they have like, all the songs like, but in like an African with the beats. And it's such a,
like the Soweto choir.
Yeah, like the Soweto choir, like beautiful. And on Christmas mornings growing up, like this is what would like, so my mom used to make like, it's called like ukodo, but it's like yam and plantain pepper soup with like snail and chicken. And so when you wake up in the morning, the first thing that hits you is the music of that Christmas, African Christmas. Because my dad was like, there's no white Christmas and stuff like that. This is an African, And then the smell of because you wake up before everyone. So just like over the years, like you wake up and you smell the food and you hear the music. That was like Christmas morning.
Oh, that was
my favorite Christmas memory. And then I think, that was just that morning. And then you come downstairs, you say happy. We didn't have gifts actually as kids.
Yeah.
We didn't have Christmas gifts, but so just that atmosphere was. And then,
I don't think we had Christmas gifts as kids in my household as well. I had the most amazing Christmases growing up. Shout out to my parents. So we used to have this thing. There's a Yoruba name for it. If I said it, it wouldn't be relevant to most people, but it's like Christmas Eve, and the name, the word literally means no sleep. So it's like a vigil type thing.
Yeah.
And it has activities that come with it. So you're supposed to make akara, which is like the bean cake type thing. You're supposed to make certain types of food and use that to commemorate the day, of Christmas Eve. And it was always such a beautiful experience. The whole house,
happy,
a buzz,
cousins around,
everybody's around, just having that, like the house smells good from the food that's being cooked. Everybody's just there, and it's just a beautiful experience. And then Christmas Day itself, like Christmas Day jollof is different.
Yeah, everything.
My parents always used to buy us Christmas clothes. So we didn't get gifts, but we got Christmas clothes, and we'll wear them and just be happy.
Did you go to church on Christmas Day?
Yeah, we'd often go to church on Christmas Day.
I started going to church on Christmas Day when I became a Christian.
And that Christmas Eve, also part of the culture too, was
sing carols.
We'll go to church.
Oh, okay.
Christmas Eve as well. So it was just such a beautiful experience, like hanging out with family. My dad loves a certain type of food he's making, and my mom's, I always talk about how maybe we'll do an episode on fathers, but my dad is such a I think he gave me a very different perspective as a man than I've heard other people experience. For instance, my dad is still a praying man, right? Which is I realized as I grew older that some people didn't experience that. Yeah. But in addition to that, my dad he's not
fussy about food.
He's not fussy about food at all. Like, he makes food. He cooks poorly, but he loves but he eats it with like all contentment. Like I've never heard him make a big deal about, whether my mom cooked or not, or how the food tasted. He just the man just eats and goes about his merry way. But like in that environment, like, he's making what he likes. She's making what, we all like. Notice I said what he likes. So we actually like what he makes too, to be fair. And it's just a beautiful experience. And one of the things that surprised me moving to America was that Christmas was polarized in a way. Because in Nigeria, if you remember, we celebrated Muslim holidays. Yeah. Even as Christians, we celebrate Muslim holidays and would eat, ram with them. Yeah, and then at Christmas,
I think that's peculiar to like Lagos.
Oh, peculiar to Lagos.
Not peculiar to Lagos in that way, but it's not. I don't think it's as widespread as it would be in Lagos. Because like, if you're from Lagos and you're Yoruba, like, it's very common to have members of the family that are Muslim and Christian. And then
not for members of the family. We had friends that would go to their house.
I didn't. Maybe
my family was entirely Christian.
Oh, okay.
And we still would eat ram from like friends.
Yeah.
And
neighbors
at Christmas,
would do that,
and neighbors would exchange food. Like, would deliver food to your neighbors, and neighbors would deliver food to you. All of that stuff. And then I came to America, and it was very different. And Christmas is like, everyone celebrates Christmas. Like on TV, you remember those kids that'll say, I'd like to give a shout out to my mommy and my daddy.
Yeah.
Was it
Mr. Biggs?
Yeah, they would have those things. They would have, different, amusement parks that you had to go to. Frank Kids, when I was growing up, it was Frank Kids amusement park. I don't think it exists anymore. But fun fact, my dad almost forgot me there once. He drove off.
Like, oh my goodness.
Yes, he drove off with one less kid. It was just a lot of people. It was a lot of kids. He forgot one.
He forgot one. And it happened to be you. That contributed to trauma and
I'm fine. No, but it was just a beautiful experience.
It was.
We were talking earlier today about how the older, we get.
We're saying that a lot of that was an arranged environment. Because even the way my dad would do that, my mom would be cooking, even your parents, it was arranged. They travel, they buy you clothes. So it's when you're an adult, you have
You're the one that has to make it happen.
And even something about I remember, I think for you talking about your dad, I don't think I started to appreciate my dad. I loved him and everything, but I didn't really start to understand and appreciate him until I grew up. Because as a child, mommy is the hero. Daddy is not cooking, but mommy is the one cooking, and mommy is the one that cares about the clothes that we're wearing. So it seems but I started to really appreciate his presence, his leadership.
Yeah.
Really, his leadership.
And the structure.
And the structure he brought.
He's put into.
And the structure, So I mean, your parents curate that sort of atmosphere for you, and I thank God for parents like that. So it's you also, now that you're an adult, you have to. I remember having a conversation with my mom. I was like, "Mommy, why are you getting Christmas tree?" And she's like, so that you guys can know what it feels like.
Yeah, no,
so that you can know.
It's such a beautiful thing. Years ago, I used to have, these Christmas parties where I would curate gifts for individuals. I haven't spent Christmas in America in a long time. So
really?
Until last year, my Christmases were always in different places.
Okay.
But prior to that, I used to have these little Christmas parties, and it was an effort to create my own traditions.
Yeah.
Because Christmas is my absolutely favorite time of the year. Oh yeah, I'm just happy that it is. Nothing is to be happening. But what we started to do last year, though, as a family, was my siblings and I, we thought we need to start coming together at least once a year. My brother says it should be twice a year, and spend time together. And for the first time in more than 10 years,
wow,
4 of us except my half brother were all together in one place around Christmas time. And it was a beautiful experience. My nieces, they've not gotten over it. It's such and I'm also at the point where I'm building a little bit of a non-traditional family myself with adopted children. But it's very important to also give those kinds of experiences. And last year the Christmas was beautiful. My little nieces were there, and my sister, her husband, myself.
That's amazing.
And it was such a magical experience, which we're working to recreate this Christmas as well. And it's just a beautiful thing, honestly.
Yeah. I was saying that I think that that sort of engineering the Christmas. So when I came to the US, I think that was the first time, because I would spend Christmas with my uncle and my aunt in Texas, and that was the first time I was getting Christmas gifts.
Wow.
Which was different, but it was nice to see oh wow, so Christmas morning everyone comes downstairs, and but I think for me the best Christmas I ever had was, I would say, 2012, when I got born again and my mom had started going to church. And for the first time ever, I knew why we were celebrating Christmas. There was an understanding of this is what it's about. It just dawned on me in a new light. But the one thing I love about Christmas, so the last few Christmas, actually the holidays have been very interesting the last 2 or 3 years. So I think since 2020,
that's
pretty much
tough.
I pretty much spent the holidays around, which I don't like, but so I'm hoping that once my PhD is over and everything, I'll be able to spend it. But the thing I love about Christmas is the goodwill. There's just so much goodwill like I was in
the air.
I was in New York last year with my friend Chamaka, and New Yorkers are
Don't let's alienate some of our listeners.
Yeah,
please.
let's not. But traditionally, they're not smiling at people. They don't care for the tourists. Like, I remember one time I was in New York, and I think I had flown to Texas. So you get to the airport in Texas, and I was like, "Hello, hi," like, and then I came back to New York, and I'm, in the airport, and I was telling the security, like, and he looked at me like, I was like, "Oh, I'm back in New York." So, but there was so much goodwill. Like, everyone is happy during Christmas, and I think there's something to be said about the presence of Christ. Like, there's no other holiday in the year that's like that. Not Thanksgiving, not New Year, President's Day, not July 4th. There's no holiday in the year. There's no.
And it's really the love of God shed abroad in the hearts of men.
Everywhere in the world you go, people are happy. People are hopeful. There's a lot of hope around Christmas. There's a lot of like joy. I think the only Christmas that was stolen from us was in 2020. Like, even lights went up. Like, so the Christmas period, you're seeing lights up everywhere, especially the homes, and like the only year
and I think all of these things kind of just, they make an attempt to mimic and bring into our lives the glory and the beauty of God.
Think so.
And the
it's
joy,
so palpable.
The joy that an association with Him brings, and it's like a lightning in a bottle type of moment, and you have all of these things that God is being revealed to you. Short period of time, and you can't even really tell that that's why. But everywhere seems it's cold outside here in the US or in the parts where we're at, but everywhere feels warm.
People are meeting up with friends they haven't met in a long time. It's like, I love the Christmas villages. So like, one of my favorite things is like going to the Christmas. I went there like 3 times last year with friends for the same like sausage, because they have these like bratwurst, and they have hot chocolate, they have these waffles. Like, if you have a Christmas village next to you, like, there's one in Baltimore.
My nieces really wanted to go last year, so it's painful that we didn't get to do that. Or
even the lights show. Like, I really love the ones where they have like lights show and stuff. So there's a lot to do, during the Christmas. But it also comes with like different things, like seasonal depression.
Really?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Seasonal.
Like, how does I know what seasonal depression means, but how does it apply here?
I think it's like, okay, so number one, there's some factors.
So like maybe people that are isolated from family or something?
No, just the thing of like it being dark at 4 p.m.
Oh.
No, it's a real thing.
I know.
Because by the time you're leaving your house, sun isn't up.
I know people that migrate for winter. I'm so serious.
I wish I could.
Like, and you have to have money to do that. No, like literally, my the president of the company that I work for now.
Literally, go to Florida. Leaves the
Hawaii. Goes to Hawaii.
He works out of Hawaii. I don't. Yeah. So there's that, but then there's also like the reality of unmet expectations, like unmet maybe memories of the past or loved ones that were lost around that time. So it's like people might also be hurting like around this period. Like, what would you say to them? Or someone, or every year you always have people like, oh, I'm not feeling Christmas. Like, I'm not feeling the Christmas cheer. Like, what would you say to that?
I think that I always say something. I said, as long as like the fact that you're alive means there's hope of something beautiful.
Yeah.
For as long as you can draw breath, no matter how bad things have become or how they are, as long as you can draw breath, there is hope that something good can come out of it. You may have lost loved ones even at this time, in this period, but there is hope for as long as you're alive that new loved ones can be brought into your life that you will cherish just as much, if not more, than the ones that you lost. And they can come in different ways. They can come in the form of, friends, lifelong friends that you meet, destiny friends. They can come in the form of people that you'll have the opportunity to take care of, that now become family. Like, there are many ways in which God can beautify your life. And that's really the promise of Christmas, is that God has come to you to make his home with you and in you. And what that means is that the color and the beauty that's in heaven and that's in him can be made manifest in your life. And it doesn't matter what the challenges may have been up until this point, but there are joys that you're yet to experience that exist and that were designed for you.
Wow.
There's a kind of satisfaction of soul that you haven't experienced yet, but exists and it's designed for you. Yeah. You know, one of the things I had an experience years ago where I was in a vision, or kind of like a dream vision type thing, was transported to hell.
Okay.
That turned dark pretty quickly.
It did. Like you were just talking about glory and beauty.
But it'll make sense in a moment. The one thing that got my attention, and I heard this, from people that have had visions of hell or been to hell, before, and it's something that is so inexplicable that I'm saying it right now, but you can't know what it feels like. The one thing that was immediately evident to me, by the way, it wasn't like burning, all of hell isn't ablaze, right? I mean, even according to scripture, it's not the lake of, it's not the lake of fire.
But there's no more hate, like the Abraham's bosom.
Yeah.
There's no more.
But the existence of that kind of thing shows you like this like topography, this like things. It's a place. It's not a, do you know what I mean? It's a place. It's like almost think like the way you would imagine like you landed on a different planet. So it's like, it's not a tiny room where all these millions of people are. But that's neither here nor there, right? The key thing that got my attention there was a lack of hope. And it is impossible to experience here on earth. Because while we're here, there's always a sliver of hope.
There is.
And I think it's when people lose that. I feel like before a person commits suicide, they've been to hell.
Yeah, they've lived in it.
There's been some kind of like experience of hell for a person to get to the point of committing suicide, because that's the only place that I found that like you can't grasp, you can't hold on to any form of hope. It just does not exist. And it's one of the most tangible feelings. It's so distinct, you can tell it apart in the same way that you can tell a feeling of love different from a feeling of, romantic love different from a feeling of friendship, brotherly love. That's the same way that you can distinctly tell this hopelessness. So while you're here, let Christmas be a reminder that there is hope. That there's light, there's possibility of light at the end of the tunnel.
I want to share something. The message you even started to share, I think the Holy Spirit just orchestrated this part of the conversation because, you guys, we've had him on the podcast, TGK. So I noticed he's been posting like just different stuff, and he would say, never kill yourself. And so I DM'd him, I'm like, why do you keep saying never kill yourself? Like, and then he sends me this, I'm going to read it, which I think TGK is one of the most,
amazing mind.
Such an, I can count, I think he has such an amazing mind. And he said, so I said, why do you keep posting that? He says, it's a rallying cry, I guess. The first time I saw it, it was just a meme that people would post when eating good food to indicate that good times can still come around. But the more I delved into it and its true essence, the more enamored I became with it. People kill themselves daily, not suicide. But they kill who they're supposed to be, happy, idealistic, optimistic. They don't allow themselves to enjoy happiness. They don't allow themselves to feel. They're physically present, but dead to what makes the world move forward, hope. And without hope, there's no reason to live, the chance for a better tomorrow. It says, so NKY, never kill yourself, to me represents hope. It resonates deeply within me. It echoes in my mind daily. It says, after the car accident I was involved in, I was in the KY portion, not physically, but I couldn't enjoy anything. I made money, but I couldn't spend it. I went places and I didn't enjoy it. I survived the accident, but a part of me didn't. It wasn't until recently when the car I was driving stopped working and I paid $200 to get it towed 100 feet off the road that I realized that the hope in an accident or negative situation is the ability to still have hope after that. After all, a dead man can't have hope. I was grateful for the ability to pay for the toll. I was grateful that all parties were safe during the process. After all, a deputy lost their life the day before in the same situation, along with others being hospitalized.
Wow.
He says, all in all, it just opened my eyes to the fact that although I can hold my life out in front of me with dreams of who I want to be and see every empty page, I can still see that everything I am is everything I should be. And I don't need to run away from happiness as a form of penance. I can enjoy a gelato instead, although things aren't as they should be, because I still have hope that they will be. And with faith in God and love for myself and others to do better and be better for the sake of others who count on me, that's all I need. And someone may not get all this from a simple post, but if it helps them realize that hope doesn't die as long as you're alive, that's good enough for me. After all, I'm not usually someone who posts things like that, so hopefully the juxtaposition allows them to think about it a bit deeper.
Amazing. Such amazing thoughts.
It is. So
Such
it's
amazing
like,
thoughts.
and what he said about like people kill themselves daily, not suicide.
Yeah.
So it's like the Christmas season is around. Like no one may have manufactured, no one may have even thought about you, no one may be getting you a gift, but there's so much that's like the hope in the atmosphere, the goodwill. But then I also think like,
But I'm almost even thinking that this is an opportunity. I don't think that this came about by chance. I strongly believe that when we cut out this soundbite, there's someone that's going to need to hear our voices saying to them, never kill yourself.
absolutely.
And also letting them know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. And they may have heard that in different ways, shapes, or forms, but I strongly believe in the ministry of the Holy Spirit in causing a person to hear something differently. So I'm talking to that person that's thinking it's Christmas time and it only has brought me memories of abuse, memories of violence, memories of broken relationships, memories of loss. And God sent us here, gave us this opportunity to be talking to you today to let you know that there is hope. And to let you know by His Spirit that this season is that symbol of hope for you. Not only can things turn around, but God does have a plan for things to turn around. And this is you coming in contact with this video. Let this be your sign.
And there's something you told us. You said that we shouldn't say that, next year is going to be our best year ever, that it's our best year yet. And it keeps getting better. I think as long as you keep hope alive, hope is so important.
It's such a strong thing.
We don't talk about hope because
but
it's like hope, faith, and love. These three.
Someone said, many years ago, I started, there started being this communication, against prosperity preachers around giving people false hope. And the Lord ministered to me very clearly. He said, there is no such thing as false hope. There is no such thing as false hope. There's no such thing. If I told someone that, maybe someone that can never walk again, and I say to them, you can walk again. Let's even imagine that I don't have a means to make it happen. That is the point of hope.
Yeah. Hope is like the seed for faith.
Hope is the seed. Now, I may not have the means, but who knows? Technology, let's even say we don't want to bring in the miraculous just yet. But technology advances over time, and things that were impossible to cure in past years become possible.
Yeah.
So hope in itself.
Like even IVF, for instance, there was the hope that you can have babies, for families, for, couples that couldn't naturally do it. But so it's like keeping hope alive is so important.
It's such an important thing.
And I think,
and I think it's one of the things about Christmas too.
Yeah. Everything that we have is built on hope. Like even we talked about America earlier. America was a hope. Like they came on ships for a hope, for a vision. Hope is the seed for vision. It's the seed for faith. And one of the distinct pictures that stays in my mind about Christmas, because Christmas is celebrating the birth of Jesus.
It is.
And even though people might say that, you know where I'm going with this. People might say that Jesus was not born on December 25th, right?
I don't think we ever argued that he was.
Even if people might say that, but the picture that comes to my mind is like Mary and Joseph taking baby Jesus to the temple, and Anna the prophetess.
Let's say that clearly, by the way. No one ever, we're not saying that Jesus was born
on the
25th of December.
But if as one day we take in the whole world and we say we're going to come, and God is going to honor that.
He will. And I often tell people, I say, have you had birthdays that you celebrated
that were not
on the exact day of your birthday?
In fact, some people are not celebrating their real birthday.
Exactly.
Because their parents don't remember.
Right.
So, the picture I have is like Anna the prophetess, like coming out, and it's like, this is the Messiah we've been hoping for. Like Simon, like this is the hope. Like he was the hope of Israel. Like,
oh, hallelujah. There's a line in that beautiful song, O come, Emmanuel. It says, O come, Emmanuel. I love Christmas songs, by the way. It says, and ransom captive Israel. Mm. And then it says something to the effect of who had waited long in anguish. Mm. It's literally it's all about hope.
Yeah. I think you can literally look at your life and say, after Christmas, it's all going to be much better.
Absolutely.
And I feel like, it's so insightful. So Christmas is a wonderful time. But I was thinking, like, you're like a big giver of gifts during Christmas, like, period. Was it always like that? So there are two questions, like, because I feel like you have to take control of your emotions. You control the things that happen around you. So instead of feeling bad, like saying, oh, I'm not going to do anything, or nobody cares about me, like no one is going to do this for me. Like, I feel like you have a choice and you're an active participant in your happiness. So how can someone participate in the Christmas cheer or, enjoy the season, maybe in a situation where ordinarily they wouldn't have?
I think you already said what they can do, right? Figure out opportunities to give. But you asked a question as well about me being a big like Christmas giver type person. So a friend of mine, I think Pastor Ike, actually had asked me a few weeks ago. It's like, you give gifts. You like to give gifts. Like, did you grow up like getting a lot of gifts? And I really didn't. I really didn't grow up getting a lot of gifts per se, but the few times that I got gifts, and not necessarily from my parents, also from people, I know how it made me feel. And for me, I found that I actually enjoy more giving people that feeling
than receiving it.
Than actually. Like, it gives me a lot more joy giving people that feeling than being the recipient of it. And I think that it's a joy that many people haven't tapped into. Giving people something, and I don't know. There's the 5 love languages, and someone may claim that, okay, my love language is giving and receiving of gifts, which is true. But I think that if I have gifts as one of my love languages, the giving of it is stronger
than the receiving.
The receiving of it. I find that when people even give me gifts many times, they don't get it right. They don't. It's not what I want. So it's not really about the thing, right? So I enjoy more of like the fact that you thought.
It can spark joy for people.
Yeah. Even like when giving something to me, it's more about the fact that you thought about it. So, but for others, that's what I now want to give them, that sense of someone thought about you. So I think that you'll find that there are different kinds of joys that you've not explored. Different kinds of joys that you've not explored. Things that you do. I was, the video that you sent to me, the other day, and I was watching the man talking about how, he sent a small family in some part of, was it Kenya or Uganda or whatever, sent them on vacation, a family of people that would otherwise not be able to, and he said he had never experienced joy like that before. Wow. There's something that giving unlocks for you, and not just, of course, we do giving in church. I'm a big giver in church, but I always say something people. Just blessing people. Sometimes people kind of, and I love every opportunity that I have to do that. I do more than even anyone can be aware of, right? But I enjoy it because it's like, the fact that someone can maybe have a prayer or a desire and God through me answers it, I think it's just the most beautiful thing. I said there are many different kinds of joys in the world that people have not explored, that they don't even know exists. There are joys that you've not tapped into.
Yeah.
And one of such is the joy of being a blessing to somebody else that you may not have tapped into. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that's so important because, like, in terms of being an active participant in your own joys, like you said, there are things you can do. But I also think, like, you know, aside from monetary, right, there's ways that you can give. You can give your presence.
Yeah.
You can give of your care, of your comforts.
Absolutely.
You can give of your skills and ability.
Absolutely.
Like maybe you're
you
good
can
at
give a
baking.
warm hug.
Exactly. Even just showing up for someone, calling them, remembering them. I remember one year I did like
hold a hand.
People are touch starved.
That's a bit much. Is that a bit much?
No, it's not a bit much because like people are actually touch starved.
Yeah, people are. Yeah, that's in that video.
You sent me the video. I saw that. I felt so sad.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Well, I was sad, but I was like, that's why you come to church.
Come to church?
Like, just
someone already commented that.
If you go to church, there's no way you can be touch starved. Someone's gonna shake your hand. Someone's gonna hug you. And that's so important. So, you know, come to church, you know, be in church and like understand the true message of Christmas. But I'm excited for this Christmas season. I'm excited for what's going to happen after.
I'm excited for a typical podcast.
Why?
I just think that there's a great future for this podcast. I think we're healing souls.
I think so.
I think we're asking the right questions, sparking the right conversations. So support us, you know, until we get
subscribe, share, and you know,
help us get to 200 million views.
Honestly, but the thing is, like, also, like, we're not at the stage where you can be a closeted watcher.
Yeah, be nice to us.
Yeah, like if you watch,
tell people that you enjoyed this.
Exactly, tell people that you enjoyed this because
tell them that this part sucked, but you know you can skip to this part. Just say something.
Yeah, and don't be the person. I'll say this. You know, don't be the person where sort of like in our last words, I believe.
Yeah. Don't
be the person that's like, oh, Christmas is about capitalism, and oh, you know, it's all about the money. Spend you work the whole year.
Spend your money.
Allow people enjoy things. Like, let's buy trees and let's like do stuff that we know doesn't necessarily have anything.
I love spending money at Christmas.
Really?
I think it's money well spent.
Really? Like what kind of just spending on people or
on people?
Okay.
Yeah. Buying gifts for people. I think it's money well spent.
All right, send your wish list to.
Send me your wish list. I'm your rich uncle.
You can even like ask someone. I love what you said about being an answered prayer for someone's like prayer. Like you can clear someone's like Christmas list.
Yeah.
I think we should do that. You know, when I was running my own podcast, actually
Is that
every
dead now?
time. We should do a compilation of your face every time.
You mentioned that old podcast?
You was like
that old thing?
Not that old. See, I think you need to look for another But here's the
we need to come back to having people on set with us, by the way.
We do.
So kind of, disagree with us.
We should.
Because sometimes
it's good though.
I think our ideas are too much.
No, but I think we agree on most things.
Yeah.
Which
we need to talk more about things that we disagree on. Actually, we need to start. Yeah.
Well, there's some.
Okay.
But I'm not willing to say it.
Okay.
But
we said we're gonna have an episode on BBLs.
Do we agree on BBLs?
I
don't even know what you think. Can you say just what you think and don't explain?
I won't say it until we have that episode. We said we're gonna talk about BBLs and hair transplant. That's not funny.
No, I want to talk about hair transplants. It's been a revelation for me.
Okay, we're not talking about it today, but we're just getting people prepared.
So tune in for the next episode. We may or we may not talk about it. But what was I saying? I was saying something about my podcast. Yeah. So I had actually interviewed a guy that was a charity. He ran a charity.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, by the end of the podcast, I think we raised some money, like a decent amount.
That's amazing.
Money. So I was saying that maybe we should do this initiative where if you have a Christmas list that you think you're in dire need, send it to us. And if you want to bless someone's Christmas,
that would be amazing.
To us, and then we can cross you to someone so that when people listen to this, they actually have a chance to be blessed and also be a blessing to other people.
They would definitely have to do that. So
Yeah.
how do they send us?
So we'll provide a link for them. So
Okay.
You just click on the link and choose, do you want to be blessed or do you want to bless someone?
Yeah.
And then we'll connect you with the
And then
desires.
do they need to tell us what they want?
Yeah, tell us what you want. So if you
Oh my God, this is
and
gonna be
then,
amazing.
So tell us what you want and then tell us how much you're willing to give. So you might have is like, $10,000 to bless people with. Or I learned that from you.
Yeah.
Because you know how people always say like, all you might have is no, all you might have is like 50,000.
Yeah.
Or all you might have is like, $500. Yeah. All right, but whatever it is, I think we can.
But I think, I actually want to say something. I'm personally looking to bless families of ministers. So if anyone knows ministers that are facing financial challenges, particularly maybe in parts of Asia, Africa, parts of Asia or Africa, I'm looking to do something for at least 10. So if you can reach out, I would love to
I'll join you in that,
connect
sir.
with them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's spread Christmas cheer. We didn't plan for this, by the way.
We actually didn't, but I think
this is the most exciting
someone is
part of
going to
it.
be blessed.
Someone is going to be blessed. I'm
really
looking forward to it.
blessed,
And
but you would have had to listen to the whole episode
to get.
Okay,
No. Then this is where we're relying on our loyal lists, listeners, to help us share this, and we'll make sure to also cut out this segment as well and post that.
Yeah.
I think that will be beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be an amazing
What a great way to
Christmas. So
end.
keep supporting us and spread the word about this, and we'll have more interesting episodes next year. So, yeah.
Awesome. So thank you all so much for paying close attention, for listening. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. We cannot do any of this without you, and we're grateful for your support. Thank you for listening, and until next time, God bless you.
Bless you.
Bye.
Bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.